Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham. An institution steeped in discovery and research connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. Graduands today is part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by two mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation. Students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a Provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon. I declare the congregation open.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. What a really wonderful occasion. It is a real pleasure to be able to welcome you to, first of all, the university, our wonderful green campus, its iconic red brick buildings, and of course, this magnificent Great Hall. And today, really, is one of the happiest days in the university calendar, where we celebrate your graduation ceremony. Now, my name is Carl Dern. I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, and also Professor of Mechanical Engineering. And graduates, family, friends, thank you so much for being here today to celebrate this very special occasion. Graduates, as we celebrate today, it's not only your academic successes that we look at, but it's also your commitment, perseverance, and indeed your personal growth. As members of your respective schools and our college, you'll have spent time immersed in computer science, civil and electrical engineering, mastering the principles of computation, infrastructure and electronics, applying them to real-world challenges, and learning how to design, build, test, and improve the technologies and systems that shape how people live, work, and move and connect. Your journey, I'm sure, will not have been easy to get here. Achievement at this level rarely is. It's earned through your effort, resilience, and that willingness that you've shown to learn from what doesn't necessarily always go to plan. I know for sure that you will have encountered demanding assessments, complex ideas, difficult code, designs that needed further refinement, circuits and systems that did not behave as expected, and moments where surely the next step was not immediately clear. But you found a way. You found a way by thinking clearly, working purposefully, and supporting one another. You've built knowledge, but also character and critical confidence. Many of you will now be leaving formal education behind and preparing to enter industry, research, enterprise, or public service. Others will continue with further study. I urge you, though, as you go out into industry, not to lose that spark of curiosity that has you've nurtured during your studies. Keep listening to that internal voice, that voice that asks, have we tested all of the edge cases? Will it stand up? Will it connect? Keep asking why, how, and what if. Keep seeking new knowledge. Gather evidence, weigh arguments, and always be open to changing your minds. The world, I am sure, needs computer scientists and engineers who combine technical excellence with integrity, sound judgment, and the confidence to ask difficult questions. Be one of them. Now, universities are also places of learning, but they're also places where people with different beliefs, customs, and personalities meet, exchange perspectives, and form lasting connections. Treasure those connections, treasure those relationships. Many of these will be people you'll turn to in the years ahead. They will share in your success, sustain you through tough times, and like the knowledge that you've built here, those bonds will extend far beyond your time here on campus. Of course, we couldn't truly celebrate today without taking a moment to acknowledge those who've played such an important part in getting you to this place today and your achievements. Behind me are just some of our magnificent staff who've encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to keep going. You've been supported by tutors, professional services colleagues, and student support teams from across the university. And now this is the first of the tests that I will pose for you today, graduands. I'd like to invite you, if I can, to thank everybody that supported you during your time here at the university. And please don't think I'm competitive, but in the previous ceremony, mathematics and metallurgy and materials, they were very, very noisy. So no pressure. But can we have a really big round of applause and cheers for all those that have supported you to this point? That's a great start. I can see that I was worried after lunch we'd be a bit low, but I'm very encouraged by that. Thank you so much. But also, in front of me, and indeed joining us from all parts of the world, are your family, friends, supporters, And I can see a sea of joy and immensely proud faces, proud in everything that you've achieved. Now, I'm sure that you will all have that person or people who've had faith in you, people who've supported you, encouraged you, showed you kindness, and helped to make this moment possible. So, once more energy again if we can. Let's give them, graduands, a huge round of applause and a very loud cheer to say thank you. I'm very, very optimistic. This is going to be a good one, I can tell. So very soon, you'll come up onto this stage, and our Chancellor, Sandy Okoro, will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. Professor Van Moorsel, perhaps with the toughest job in the House, navigating all of your names in the correct order, has the toughest job, certainly, and be kind to him as he works through it. But when he calls your name, that is your graduation. Family, friends, that's when we pass over to you. That's your cue to whoop, to cheer, to whistle, and make as much noise as possible. So, final advice from me. New shoes, glamorous football, footwear, a life-changing moment, but steep steps. So do be careful as you come up onto stage. Give a big smile to the cameras. Take a moment to savour everything that you've achieved. And above all, enjoy your graduation. Congratulations, graduands, and very well done.
And you, and I'm talking to all of you now, you get to be the ones pushing it forwards. Things are changing quickly and this technology is new to everyone. The thing I want to impress on you is this levels the playing field, so you don't need to catch up, and you can now go into the world and how to decide how to make use of this new technology. In summary, life is chaos, and you just have to embrace it. And please remember, this might be the most important thing I'd say, even if it is the most cliched thing. It's not about executing a plan anyway. You're supposed to be having fun. The plan is pointless if you're not actually enjoying life in real time. There are many paths to success, and yours won't be perfect or what you planned. Roll with the bad luck, accept the good luck, don't worry about the future, and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program, proof worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
Now for the handing of the scrolls.
Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program, proof worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree to which they are to be presented.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Van Moorsel. I'm the head of School of Computer Science here at the University of Birmingham. And I indeed will read through all the names, doing my best to pronounce them as well as I can. And you will have the chance to make all the whooping sounds that Professor Dern was promising us. So please do participate, and I will pace my introduction of people accordingly. Master of Science in Advanced Engineering Management, Operations Management, Avaneesh.
Good afternoon. Okay, let's try that again. Good afternoon. Oh, you are there. That's good to know. Okay. Right. Now, I know that some of you maybe wanted to make a little bit more noise than you did, so I'm going to give you the opportunity. I want you all to make as much noise, raise the roof, whoop, do whatever you want to do to celebrate our class of 2026. Let's go. Any more? Keep going, keep going. It's a celebration. Well done. It is a celebration. You are allowed to make noise. My name is Sandhya Koro. It is my huge honour to be the Chancellor of this amazing university. I graduated from here myself many, many years ago with a law and politics degree. And in fact, 3 generations of my family have been educated here. My mum did nursing. As I said, I did law and politics. And last year, I gave my son his degree on this stage when he graduated in criminology. So I'm glad you're in the mode of cheering and everything. This is what we need because it's a huge celebration today. I have some news. It's not exactly hot off the press, but it kind of is. The news broke earlier, I think at the end of last week. But the National Student Survey results are out. And this is a survey that measures student satisfaction. And the University of Birmingham came number 1 of the Russell Group universities. That deserves a cheer. We are all so pleased about that. And for it to break during our graduation weeks was really, truly wonderful. So what am I here to do? What is the point of me, as you're thinking? So my role here, before you all leave and are reunited and start your celebrations, is to give our graduates today a few words of inspiration before they go through that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you, graduates 2026, a few things I wish I had known when I was sitting in your position. The first thing I wish I'd known, and I wish somebody had told me, was to have the courage to be unapologetically me. A first-rate version of myself, not a second-rate version of someone else. I know many of you scroll through social media, TikTok, Instagram, for the oldies in the audience, Facebook, and you see everybody's lives and they all seem so perfect and so polished, but you are seeing an edited showreel. You're not seeing what's really going on. You're in the middle of living your backstage life and you're seeing someone's front page edition. So please, don't be fooled by that. Nobody has got it all sorted out. There is no finished product out there. We are all a work in progress. And if you feel you may be a little bit behind or you haven't quite done what everybody else is doing, you are not behind, you are becoming. And today is not a full stop by any means. It's the beginning of a fantastic and brand new paragraph in your life. And let me tell you a little story about being unapologetically me, that happened to me. Not long after I graduated from here, and I was starting my career in law. And let me just remind you, my surname is Okoro, O-K-O-R-O. Easy to say, easy to spell, in my opinion. But I was told, Sandy, if you really want to make a career in law and you want to work in some very, very British institutions, you're going to have to ditch the ethnically sounding surname. And I thought, what are you kidding? No way. This is my surname. This is my culture. This is everything to do with me. And I thought, you know what, if somebody doesn't want me because of my surname, I don't want to go and work for them. Now, I have to say, at the time, I was married and I could have had a very English-sounding surname, and I chose not to have it, just as well, because he's no longer around. He wasn't up to the job. Don't worry, he's not under the patio or anything. But I would have been lumbered with that name. So I'm really pleased that I kept my surname. And in fact, roll forward several years later, let me tell you two things. One, when I was appointed to be Senior Vice President at the World Bank, I got a personal letter from President Buhari of Nigeria, who said they keep an eye on the diaspora, they look at the surnames, to congratulate me on my new role. And second, which I am hugely proud of, as you leave here, to the right, my name is carved in stone, Sandy Okoro, as the 8th Chancellor of this university and the first woman and the first black female, and Okoro is carved in stone. I have to say I love saying that. I always get such a warm response, so I'm never getting tired of saying that one. So, graduates of 2026, please stand your ground. Love your culture. By the way, you can have more than one. It's not a competition. Embrace your identity. Cherish your story. These are not obstacles. They are your foundation. Never shrink in the hope of making somebody else feel comfortable. If the room is too small, find a bigger room. And guess what? The right room will never, ever require you to leave your identity at the door. The second thing I wish I'd known when I was in your position, and in fact my dad did tell me this, but I'm not sure I was completely listening, is just how invaluable your education is. My father was born in rural Nigeria, and neither his parents could read or write. And he was taught to read and write by the British missionaries and ended up getting a scholarship to the London School of Economics. And he said to me, Sandy, your education is something no one can ever, ever take away from you. And I remember that as such a powerful thing when I reflect on it. I'm not so sure I understood what he really meant at the time. And Nelson Mandela said something, not to me, by the way, but generally to everybody, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, graduates of 2026, you have just been given something hugely powerful, and that is an education from the University of Birmingham, and you are now graduates. And things will happen in this world. We heard from our honorary graduate, things don't always go to plan. Markets rise and fall, governments change, jobs come and go. Sometimes jobs don't even come. But nobody can repossess your education. And to every parent, sibling, supporter sitting at the front, you weren't gowned up today. You didn't come on the stage and shake my hand. But you are part of this journey too. You are core to that. And I congratulate you too. And, of course, I think we need to give a huge round of applause to the academics behind me and your supervisors who supported me through this journey. The third thing, and I think you touched on it as well, say yes whenever you're asked to do something that scares you. That is the moment in which you will really, really rise. There are going to be things that you're going to be afraid to do, and you might even choose not to do. That is the wrong thing. If someone asks you to do something and you feel you can't do it, do it. That is the very moment at which the biggest opportunity, trust me on this, will come your way. The biggest moments in my life began with me saying yes before I felt I was ready. By the time you're ready, it's too late. Take that chance. Bet on yourself. You can do it. One of my greatest idols is a lawyer called Helena Kennedy, Baroness Kennedy. She's a very famous human rights lawyer. And I had the privilege of meeting her once. And I asked her what her advice was for me. And she said, Sandy, always say yes. No one is going to ask you to do something they think you can't do. They will see something in you that you do not see in yourself, and trust that and go for it. So, class of 2026, I want you to say yes when you feel that's the last thing you want to do. And we heard a bit about AI today. Now, let me just say something. Every generation has had something they have feared. Every generation, this is the end of jobs. This is the end of mankind. You know what? It isn't. This is just going to make us a bit faster. And yes, AI will write reports, analyze data. It can even compose music. But some of the things it cannot be kind. It cannot be courageous. It cannot build trust. You can do those things. It cannot replace your judgment. That is very key. Your integrity and your humanity. And most of all, it cannot be you, and the world needs you. So when you're leaving this university today, in a few moments, remember you're a University of Birmingham graduate. Remember the wonderful friendships you have built here, the setbacks you have overcome, the ideas you have challenged, and the person you're going to become because of the fantastic education you've had here. The world needs your energy, it needs your compassion, it needs your curiosity, and it needs your courage. And remember, when life offers you a choice between betting against yourself and betting on yourself, please go bet on yourself. And let me just take a moment about taking a bet. It's England versus Argentina tonight, in case anyone hasn't realised. I am betting on England for a win and to see them in the finals. Now, graduates, parents, friends, siblings, I always write a poem for my graduates. And this poem is entitled, and it's just for you, called Go Bet on Yourself. As you leave the halls today, don't let your courage fade away. The road ahead won't always be clear. Don't let doubt become your fear. Remember where your story grew. This place believed in all of you. Now carry hope in all you do, and let your values guide you through. Wear your name with pride each day. Never hide who you are away. Stand up tall, be strong, be kind. Lift those a step behind. Some doors will close, that much is true, but others wait because of you. Keep knocking, keep taking that chance. Sometimes life begins with one brave glance. When fear says, wait, you're not enough, answer back, no, I'm made of tougher stuff. And when the world asks, who are you? Smile and let your actions prove. So dream out loud, stand strong, aim high, stretch yourself towards the sky. And when life asks what you should do, go bet on yourself, and England too. Congratulations, class of 2026. Okay, I'm about to release you so you can all be reunited and celebrate. But before that, we're going to process out of the hall with the students behind us. So if you could stay in the hall while we do that, that would be fantastic. Okay, I declare the congregation closed.
The live stream has now ended.